And to be quite honest with you, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted with Sue Bird.
Sue Bird has come full circle in her comments on Caitlin Clark, reflecting on the recent drop in WNBA viewership and the waning fan interest.
This is what we want. Instead, we're still getting bullshit on viewership numbers.
Things got heated between them, and Step A wasn't about to let Caitlin Clark take the heat. Steven has been supporting Caitlin all season, and he wasn't about to back down now.
What do you mean ESPN? So because I work at my day job on ESPN, I'm supposed to ignore the facts?
Sue Bird didn't appreciate Steven pointing out the facts. Viewership is down, and there's little genuine interest in the WNBA finals. Those are just the numbers.
I've seen Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I've seen Shannon Sharpe talk about it. And that's what I just don't understand is they work for ESPN. So why are you hating on a product that ESPN
that they invest in?
Yeah, that's where these viewership numbers are coming. Yeah, it's a business you're in. It's not that they can't. And by the way, it's not that they can't be critical of certain things. They can have their opinions. But that's where I don't understand the framing.
Even though Steven works for ESPN, he speaks his mind on the situation. Caitlin is a major attraction, and without her, the WNBA has struggled to keep its numbers up. Sue Bird thinks fans are still showing up and arenas remain full, but ticket prices have dropped significantly, which is why attendance looks steady.
To see tickets at the Target Center in Minnesota selling for as low as $10.
Paying $10 for a playoff ticket is wild, but let's be real. If Caitlin were playing, the WNBA wouldn't be selling tickets at that low a price. Clearly not.
Shannon Sharpe starts to talk about the attendance and says, like, basically that Caitlin had the highest attendance in the playoffs, which Caitlin Clark played her first 2 rounds in Connecticut, which only holds roughly 10,000, and they got swept, so they never made it back to Cambridge in Indiana to play a home game. So they absolutely did not have the highest attendance.
Sue Bird, a WNBA legend and one of the most respected voices in women's basketball, has recently become embroiled in a surprising controversy. It started when Bird reportedly blamed Caitlin Clark for the recent drop in WNBA playoff ratings and falling ticket sales. Many were shocked by her remarks, as Clark's influence on the sport is widely recognized for bringing in huge attention.
There is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball ratings. Kudos to her. She has elevated an entire sport in viewership.
Bird, a longtime champion of the WNBA's growth and resilience, felt that Stephen A. Smith's comments cast the league in an unfairly negative light. In her view, they overlooked the collective effort of the players and the league's development over the years. Determined to defend the WNBA's reputation, Bird pushed back, emphasizing that the league could succeed beyond the influence of any single player. Her frustration wasn't limited to Smith. She also criticized Shannon Sharpe, who had highlighted the huge attention Caitlin Clark has brought to women's basketball. Both Smith and Sharpe had praised Clark, repeatedly pointing to her as a major factor behind the surge in viewership and fan interest. But for Bird, this focus on one player overshadowed the league's broader achievements. As a steadfast advocate for women's basketball, she stressed that the WNBA's growth should rely on collective effort, not just individual star power.
Look with Stephen A. and with Shannon, there's an aspect of them like defending their stances on her. Like, we were right about Caitlin and this is our defense. And I still think there's something twisted there because nobody ever said that Caitlin wasn't going to be a marketing gem, a unicorn.
The reality, however, is hard to overlook. Caitlin Clark's standout performances in college basketball drew massive attention, and many expected that momentum to carry over to the WNBA playoffs. Without her, the league faced a major challenge: how to keep the excitement and fan engagement she had created. Suddenly, the WNBA had to scramble to fill the void left by her absence and maintain the same level of interest.
But if you guys take a look at the stands, all the seats, even the courtside seats, are empty.
One strategy the WNBA used to counter the drop in interest was lowering playoff ticket prices. Fans quickly noticed that without Caitlin Clark, tickets were significantly cheaper, a clear sign the league was trying to fill seats. On the surface, it looked like games were selling out and attendance remained strong, but the reality was more complex. The price cuts were a calculated move to avoid the embarrassment of empty arenas during key matchups. While this created the appearance of high demand, it didn't truly reflect fan enthusiasm. By making tickets more affordable, the league kept stadiums fuller, but it also highlighted that without Clark, the excitement and engagement just weren't the same.
We've been to the Liberty Games. They're full. It looks full in Vegas. It looks full every single place that you go. TD Garden sold out when Caitlyn wasn't playing there for a regular season. Like,
if the WNBA had kept ticket prices at the same level as during Caitlyn Clark's season, arenas likely would have been much less crowded. By lowering prices, the league managed to fill seats and maintain the appearance of strong attendance, but this was only a short-term fix. The numbers tell a different story. Without the energy and excitement Clark consistently brought, fan interest has been harder to sustain. Sue Bird's previous praise of Clark's influence makes her recent comments even more surprising. When Clark first emerged, Bird was one of the first to recognize her potential to transform women's basketball. This shift in tone suggests Bird is now more focused on protecting the league's long-term reputation.
Nonsense about things that Caitlyn was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from fans.
It's become clear that Caitlyn Clark's ability to draw massive attention to women's basketball has made her both a hero and, in some circles, a target. This is common in sports. Athletes who rise quickly often face backlash, not just from rivals, but sometimes from within their own industry. For every fan celebrating Clark's meteoric rise, there are others who see her success as disrupting the established order. Cheryl Swoops, another WNBA legend, has also shared mixed feelings about Clark's impact.
Will Caitlyn Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not.
Without players like Caitlyn Clark, the WNBA struggles to sustain the same level of interest and excitement she generated. She attracted not just hardcore basketball fans, but also casual viewers, reaching a broader audience the league has long sought. Once she's out of the spotlight, maintaining fan engagement and enthusiasm becomes much more difficult. Despite the league's recent strides in growing its fan base and visibility, it still faces major challenges in keeping widespread attention and consistent support. Caitlyn Clark represents a rare phenomenon, an athlete whose talent and personality transcend the sport, drawing in viewers who might not typically follow women's basketball.
It made people stick around and want to watch the others. A rising tide lifts all boats, which is what we were saying, both Shannon Sharpe and myself, when we addressed that issue. Why would you say a quote like that? We work for ESPN, so I'm supposed to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the facts? That ain't what we do.
Caitlyn Clark's rise has been a game changer for the WNBA, drawing in casual and hardcore fans alike and boosting viewership and excitement in ways the league has struggled to replicate without her. Despite her positive impact, she has faced criticism and skepticism from some commentators and even fellow legends, highlighting a tension between individual stardom and the league's collective growth. Sue Bird's recent remarks reflect concern over the WNBA appearing overly dependent on one player, yet the numbers speak clearly. Attendance and ratings have dipped in Clark's absence, showing her immense value. Clark remains focused on her game, performing at an elite level, while the league must now confront the challenge of maintaining fan interest and energy without her, proving that her presence is not just impactful but essential for the WNBA's continued success.